Good morning, Tina Mitchell here, your local mortgage expert and your host of Coffee with a Superstar. My show is with real estate agents for real estate agents, so you can hear what they're doing and how they're doing it, interviewing the best of the industry. Each week I travel to my superstar's office, so you're invited behind the scenes of their business. And this week's superstar is Kim Storey with Coldwell Danforth. Kim, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And a little bit about Kim. Kim is third generation realtor. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Her grandfather owned 3 real estate offices before he passed. Her mother, Tamara Vanberg, has been in the business for 30 years and is still selling real estate. Kim has lived in Seattle area her entire life, besides going to college and playing soccer at the Washington State University. Go Cougs. Kim became a broker with Coldwell Danforth 5 years ago, and she's finished in the top 10% of Coldwell Banker professionals globally out of 95,000 agents in the past 3 years. She was a top producer out of the Berrien office for units in 2018. And again, this show really is for the best of the best, so that you can be inspired of the success that they've had and be able to take your business to the next level. And definitely your buyer makes you deserving of being our superstar today. Yeah. So Kim, I always like to start out with a question. What do you credit your success to?
Okay, yeah. First, I would credit just having a great mentor. I've been able to work with my mom, Tamara, right out of the gates, and got into some very intricate, kind of tricky transactions in the very beginning, first couple of months of having my license. So being just kind of like in it right away helps. So having a good mentor has been huge. And then I think also just having a consultant approach with my clients and just trying to manage their fears and expectations. I really feel when people buy and sell real estate, it brings out a different side of them. It can be extremely stressful, and just really working to manage their expectations, being there for them. Sometimes people, they need to call late at night just to talk about a little bit more about a strategy and being open to that. So just having a consultant kind of approach.
As I'm taking a drink of my tea, not coffee, but it is Coffee with Superstars, so we have to be rocking something. And by the way, Starbucks needs to, they need to sponsor our show. Right, actually. I'll be reaching out to them a little bit later after we've been doing this for a while. A couple things that I want to mention that Kim had said. First of all, she mentioned the benefit of having some challenging transactions. So if you're listening right now today, real estate, just like any other profession, is filled with challenges and not challenges, but sometimes those challenging deals can actually be most beneficial, because as Kim mentioned, these are transactions that really allowed her to learn some great things that she wouldn't have been able to learn if she was not pulled in on those difficult scenarios. So none of us want to have challenges, but when you do, look at them as opportunities, because there is always an opportunity to find a solution. And then once you have that solution, you've done what I like to call one-time it, and it's a plug and play for you the next time that scenario comes up. Kim also talked about being a consultant, and really as a real estate expert or as a mortgage expert that I am, it really is being that consultant and being that expert to your client, finding out, as Kim mentioned, what their needs are, being able to tailor your specific skills based on what their specific needs are is important as well. And yeah, as being successful, you need to be available and accessible and be able to communicate with them sometimes off business hours. Would want to give a shout out, with Kim and her success. I'm sure that she has time that she takes for her family, and you really need to be able to create as much of a balance as you can in your business. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So talking about challenges, because we all have them, and the more business that you do, the more challenges that come up. You just get really good when you're successful is when that challenge comes up, to know exactly what you need to do to fix it immediately rather than having that delay on. So what would you say has been your biggest challenge in the last 12 months, and how did you overcome that, Kim?
Okay, great. Yeah, so I was working with a client last year, and came as a referral where she hadn't, she'd become very sick and hadn't made a mortgage payment in almost a year. and we, so by the time I got talking with her, she was already in pre-foreclosure. Talked to their lender and found out that they were going to be issuing, either get out or pay up notice very soon. So she really didn't want to foreclose, and running the comps, I could tell that she could walk away with a little bit of money after paying back what was already owed. And so I really wanted to make sure we could have her a little bit to get back on her feet, and so that she doesn't have a foreclosure for 7 years, so she can't even buy anything for 7 years. So time was against us though, because it was kind of towards the end of the summer, as everyone remembers last year, things started slowing down at the end of the summer. And so the house, there's also 5 animals in the house, like a lizard, a dog, cat, fish, parrot,
I could think of.
yeah, exactly. So there's, definitely not the best smells going on in the home, and, someone being sick is not able to, take care of things as much as you'd want to be able to. So in order for her to get the most out of it, we really need to do a couple of key items to just make the home look a little bit more presentable.
Sure.
There's also a drywall issue, big dent in the wall that need to be fixed, and all the trim and moldings in the door frames in the living room were in very bad shape, I'll just say. And so basically I told her if we can, clean and then fix the drywall and then basically just do like layer of paint over the moldings, it would just drastically improve the conditions of the home. So here we are, middle of summer last year, and it's hard to find a contractor to do some of these kind of small jobs. And everybody wants to do bigger work, especially when they're in the summertime.
Yes.
Right, and so couldn't find anybody that's willing to do the small job, so I reached out to my husband, who is he does a little handyman work on the side.
Shout out for those husbands.
Right. So I asked him if he go repair the drywall and help with the painting, the trim, and of course he was like, "I'll do it if you help out." And so I decided that it was just so necessary that just got in there on a very nice Saturday. We spent about 6 hours just taking care of it, and put the home on the market shortly after that, and ended up getting actually several offers, and went with the one that was 15,000 over. And so we thought that she'd be able to walk away with 5,000 in her pocket. She was able to walk away with 20,000 in her pocket, which was huge with her circumstance.
Yeah.
And so it was, I remember when I first was talking and went to the house, I was thinking, I don't think there's any way, like, I think she'll break even, or might have to bring somebody to the table even. And so it was a challenge, but sometimes you do need to just get in the trenches with your client, and she was able to reimburse for supplies and time out of closing, so that helped her out as well, because all the other folks we talked to, they weren't willing to get paid out of closing. So it worked well hiring my husband for that, and just rolling up my sleeves and getting in there.
Well, I have to say, I don't know if I would roll up my sleeves and get in there and do the work, but I do want to mention, when I'm sitting here with obviously a superstar based on not just the volume that she does, but the commitment and the passion that she has to helping people. And I think that's, it's such a beautiful story. And so no matter what level of success that you're in every industry, there's pro bono and contribution that you're making to others. And not that this is pro bono, you got paid for it, but you had no idea if you were going to, but somebody needed her help and she jumped in and stepped in. So no matter where you're at in your business, do everything that you can to be in contribution to others. Now, we've talked in previous shows that some clients are not your best client, meaning that they are not going to follow what your expert advice is telling them that they need to do to be successful. And those clients you have to let go because you can't help them. But in this situation, it was a client that you could help. It was just a lot of extra work and not really sure what the outcome was going to be. But I love that story, Kim. So, and I love how she just did whatever she did to pull this thing together and make it work. I do want to also make a comment on foreclosure, because I am your local mortgage expert. I am a lending expert, and there are portfolio loans out there that are available where you can actually purchase a home as soon as you've gotten out of foreclosure. It's not going to be a standard Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loan. permanent loan, which means that you're going to be paying a lot higher interest rates. Not only adjustable, you can get fixed rates, so the lending is not looking at causing an issue with people being able to afford their mortgage payment down the road. But you can get into these programs. So maybe a shout out if you're in the real estate space and you can take a look through title and find those people that actually have foreclosed, and you were unfortunately were not able to help them because you didn't know them at that time. Maybe you can reach out and start marketing to those if there's an ability for them to possibly buy instead of waiting for that 7 years. So love that. What about a favorite marketing tip that you have to share with our real estate agents that are listening to the show today, Kim?
Yeah, I mean, I would say in this, I feel a lot of people that are successful in this business would agree, I'm sure, with you as well in your business. I think just being in communication constantly with your past clients, reaching out, letting them know that you're there for them after close, which is huge. A lot of folks just disappear after close, and you try to. I've heard stories of folks saying they tried reaching out 2 weeks afterwards, couldn't hear anything from their agent, and so I always tell everyone I'm here for you throughout it, and I'll reach out and make sure that things are going well. Ask them if they need a contractor for whatever it might be with their home. They need a landscaper, things like that. So I think just being in constant communication with, and it can be challenging for sure, but we try to make it a priority to always constantly reach out. Even it's been 5 years, continue to reach out.
And such great advice, Kim. And I think why it's challenging for most people is because it's not that instant paycheck right now. And so you're looking at what can I do to generate a buyer or generate a seller right now today to get paid. But the reality is it's your future payments. And once you start that wheel turning, then you've got this constant past client business. And for any superstar that I would interview, they all have connections with their people that they've worked with. The other benefit is it's not only a warm lead, but it is a hot lead. Because they already trust you. You've already helped them be successful in that buyer sell that you already have. And depending on where you look and what stats that you look at, and depending on how great you are at those touch points and staying in contact with them, you're going to get at a minimum 8% turn through of the people that you've worked with before if you stay in contact with them on a regular basis. So look at everybody that you've closed and the amount of transactions those are, and take 8% for the year. And see if it would be worth it for you to put together some type of touch plan and marketing plan to stay in contact with these people. And I like to say, to really go from a place of value education to a little fun. So whatever you're doing, mix it up. If you're doing some marketing material, mailing material, have some education, some value, and some little fun in there. Get some events together where you can invite your past clients and really spend some great time with them. Encourage them to invite a friend or somebody into it so you can continue to build your circle of influence or your tribe, which we hear a lot about, right?
Right.
Now, what are some of the things that you do to stay in contact with your clients that you've already worked with?
Well, I like to be pretty personal, so a lot of it is reaching out and doing a happy hour or coffee or lunch. So I really do like the one-on-one time with them, and I like to know what's going on with their home. Even just quick text messages. Send me updates of what you've done. There's clients where you maybe help them sell their home, they're buying a new home, and that they talk to you about the upgrades they want to do, or even the furniture they want to buy, and ask them to see that, and really wanting to see what they've done.
Yes.
And whether that's a phone call, a text message, or just meeting them for dinner or coffee, I think all of it is a good way to stay in contact.
And I love that. I love reaching out for a just because and have no reason behind it. In the mortgage business, I reach out to our clients that we close on a regular basis, and I love to make a call to say, hey, I just looked at your mortgage and it doesn't make sense for you to refinance it this time. I love making that call because I know at some point in time it's going to make sense for them to do something. And the ability to make that call when it does make sense for them is really powerful because now they're like, okay, wow, there's no question it does. We've heard from her that it doesn't. So yeah, I love the happy hours. If you can do something fun that you can have consistent on a regular basis. I love the coffee. I mean, just open up the office and say, come by and have a cup of coffee. You know, you can get, inexpensive a coffee truck that sits outside the office. We do a gift of the month. It's for our, it's for our real estate partners. But it's a lot of fun and it attracts business to where you can have them come in and pick up their gift of the month, or lots of really cool stuff. So get creative with it, and it helps to really have fun with your marketing, because again, you know that this marketing is going to pay off because it's with your clients that already love and trust you. You just need to give it enough time to see the results coming in, so then it doesn't become, well, it's not a deal today, because you know it's a deal today because there's somebody that's going to be pulling out. You just don't know which one of those clients are going to be pulling out.
Right.
Correct? To do something.
Absolutely, yeah. And I do get your gift of the month email.
You're not picking up the gift of the month though. You need to grab one.
No, I do need to.
Yeah.
I'll be alright. I do love that idea though.
It's so much fun. The
Yeah.
first Monday of every month we have just a really, a great gift that you might not think of buying, and it's under $50, but so it's a lot of fun. Thank you for that shout out. So Kim, what about for the real estate agents that are listening to the show today, whether you're new in the industry, whether you've been in the industry for years and just looking at taking your business to the next level, or if they're a superstar like you are, because superstars listen to superstars. They want to know what you're doing to see how they might be able to add something else into their business, because we're always looking for new ideas, especially when we've reached that level of success. So what would be your call to action for any agent that's looking at taking their business to the next level?
Well, I would say personally, and I know some people, this might not work with their type of business, but I like to have a yes mentality, where if someone says, hey, I'm interested in a vacant lot and it's listed for $30,000, will you help me? Yes, I will help you, and I might need to reach out to some experts that only do vacant lots, but yes, I want to help you because that might lead to something else. And I've had experiences with that where probably, I want to say almost 2 years ago, there was a client where they're trying to buy a vacant lot for $50,000 and they couldn't get anyone to work with them. And I said, yeah, I'm happy to help you out. And after lots of discussions, and they wanted to buy a lot and then build their dream home on it. And when they started realizing all that's involved with buying raw land, the hookups to the utilities and whatnot, and then building the property and the time involved with that as well, started realizing it didn't really make sense financially to do that. So ended up helping them buy a home instead. And had I not said yes to that, I wouldn't have the opportunity to help them buy a nice home instead. And so I think there's so many opportunities with our clients, and it's easy to try to cherry pick what you might consider a good, easy client, and it's okay to get in the trenches with your clients and maybe work with somebody that you might not be at a high price point.
Yes.
But you never know where that's going to come, and just being willing to help people out, and if they're reaching out to you, you don't know what's going to come from it. So having a good yes mentality, and wanting to just truly help them get the best out of their purchase or sale.
I love that. I love the yes, I'm here to help, and yes, I'm here to do what I can to fill the needs that you're looking for. And again, as long as they're willing to fall within your expertise, yes, I love playing the yes game. And again, as a client, it's kind of like the client, for me, that they're not in a position to refinance, but helping them know that I'm watching out for them, because those opportunities are going to present themselves. They're going to be thinking about you when someone else needs something, when you're helping them get to that next stage, especially when they've been no to someone else. Right. And the more difficult the deals are, the more challenges that might come up, it really is a stronger connection for us with those clients, because they know how much harder we're working for. Sometimes the easy deals, easy come, easy go. So, the more business that you're going to get from those afterwards might not be as much, because they don't see as much value in how much hard work you're doing for them.
And I would say also, treating your clients, whether they're purchasing a home or selling a home, as if it's your own. What would you want done? And when you kind of put it that way, you can get really best terms for your clients, and that's where I truly believe when I'm working with my clients that this is, what would I do? This is my money. If I was, would I recommend, it's a major fixer-upper for a first-time couple, and they're asking my true opinion. What do you think about this home?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them what I think, and they might still want to buy it, knowing that there's about $100,000 worth of repairs. But just being very truthful, and then the last part of that is whoever you're working with on the other side, whether the agent has 3 months of experience or 30 years of experience, just treating all agents with respect.
Yeah.
Because sometimes in any industry, right, there can be egos involved, there's a lot of emotions, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, and great advice. We actually, the agent I do a lot of business with, Brenda Passagolan from Living Northwest, we actually just had a conversation this morning with a deal that was presented, 500 and some odd thousand, and our clients are going FHA because they need to, and they competing up against a conventional buyer. And she's got a great reputation. I've worked with a listing agent before, so I have a great reputation. I don't know if the deal's going to come through because the other buyers are waiving inspection, but it was really nice that we had a conversation and the buyers got to hear how much our reputation made in that offer process. So important. You want to treat people like you want to be treated, and then when that opportunity presents, they want to help you if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Kim, obviously your mom is a huge inspiration to you in real estate, and having 3 generations of being real estate agents, you just probably were kind of naturally born with that excitement of what real estate might look for you in your career. Outside of your mom, who else has been an inspiration to you, whether it's a coach or a book or a speaker that you've heard recently?
Yeah, I would say I listen a lot to Darren Hardy.
Love Darren, Compound Effect.
Yeah, Compound Effect. I read that very early on, within the first couple months of getting my license. I saw him speak, and then he's got daily videos.
Darren Daily.
Darren
Sign up for the Darren Daily.
So I always enjoyed that, and so I like to listen to that. I like the Tom Ferry videos too. Those are extremely relevant, and those are always up to date, and they're available free of charge on his website and YouTube. So that's been very helpful.
That is awesome. Darren Hardy's philosophy, which is in spirit for what I do in one time in my business, in one of my mind shifts for that is to rejoice in your small successes. And it's all about every small thing that you do is going to have a compound effect. And in real estate or any other sales, sometimes it can be difficult to know that every decision that you're going to make right now is going to have a ripple or a compound effect to the next decision. An example I use is if you want to make healthier choices, when you get to the receptionist desk and that bowl of candy is up there, is it okay to give yourself permission to take that piece of candy? Well, yeah, it is, but think about the ripple effect, because then you're giving yourself permission to take that piece of candy every time you walk past that receptionist desk. But what if you didn't give yourself permission to take that first piece of candy? The ripple effect is going to be much different. Right. So rejoice in all those little decisions that you're making, whether it's picking up to call 5 past clients that you've worked with so that you can build that compound effect of what that business is going to do for you. Yeah, I love Darren Hardy. So get hooked up on Darren Hardy's daily, Darren Hardy Daily, and Mike Ferry, which to keep you up to date in the real estate space. So you're married, and you bought a house a couple years ago, so lots of exciting stuff going on there. But our last 6 minutes that we have here, what's important to you outside of business? What keeps you going in your business that's your why behind it?
I love spending time with my family. We don't have any kids, but between my husband and I, we have about 16 nieces and nephews.
Oh my
golly. So it keeps us very busy, so it's fun, and the ages are between like a month old to like 22.
So is that motivation and inspiration for you guys to want to have kids?
I just did right in there. Really against it. to be a good example for them and being able to, take them out on fun things or watch them for my siblings, those type of things. We like to travel. We both, I snowboard, he skis, so
Nice.
we like to get out on the mountains as much as possible during the winter time, which this winter was nice winter.
Yes, it was.
Sure.
Depending on where you were at.
Right. But yeah, so I think time with the family was just my husband and I.
Yeah.
We love doing date nights and things like that, or getting out and being active, athletic.
Yeah.
I still play soccer casually for fun and getting out, kicking the ball around.
Yeah,
it's pretty
love
fun.
that.
Not as good as I used to be, but I still got it a little bit.
You still got it, yeah. Well, your shape shows that you definitely do some sporty stuff. So think about that as we're wrapping up our time here today with this week's Coffee with a Superstar. What is your why? What is important to you in life? Because really, that's what it's all about. Being a superstar, having a successful real estate practice is so that you can live the life that you want to live. You can be the person that you're meant to be. You can contribute to your community, and it really just gives you that power to get through some of the difficult things that might come up when you know your why. So as we wrap up our time together here today, a great call to action is take a step back and take a look at why you're doing what you're doing, and that's going to help motivate you to make those small decisions, as Darren talks about in the compound effect, so you can see a good compound effect because it'll work for you or against you, and it gives you the strength to really be passionate and come into work and be excited every day. So Kim, thank you so much for being here this week for this week's Coffee with the
Absolutely, my
Superstar.
pleasure. Great to have you here.
Was loved it. But so much fun to interview you. And thank you all of you for listening today. And we'll be here on Facebook Live, same time next week, every Monday at 11 a.m. But of course, we'll have a different backdrop and a different location as we'll be traveling to our next Superstars office. Have a great day and make it a great Monday, a great week.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.